Welcome to Community Day at Next 21. My name is Jeana Jorgensen and I'm here with Urs Hölzle. Today is unique in that it will span an entire 24 hours to bring together communities from all around the world in local time zones. But before we get into those details, we wanted to share some really exciting news with you.
That's right. But first, I'd like to thank you all for your incredible collaboration and commitment to Google Cloud, because developers are really the core inspiration behind everything that we built. Your constant pursuit of excellence motivates us, and your feedback pushes us to be better. In a developer keynote yesterday, I announced the Google Cloud Innovators program. With this program, we want to bring all of Google Cloud developers together to co-create, to learn from each other, and to unite our global technical communities where we're supporting Google Cloud. And we also wanted to reignite the human connection that many of you have missed over the last 18 months, and that can be dismissed or overlooked in online forums. And finally, we know that technical communities can sometimes be intimidating to new members. And so our program's primary design principle is grounded in inclusion and in serving the community, regardless of your knowledge base or your status earned. So I want to personally invite each of you to join us to become a Google Cloud Innovator. So come share your experience, coach and grow others. Most importantly, learn from each other to build things that have a meaningful impact on the people who use them.
Terrific. To join us, just sign up at cloud.google.com/innovators. We're really excited to get to know you. We also wanted to let you know about a dedicated technical community event we will host for the first time this coming February. Twice a year in different regions around the world, we'll bring the users and creators of Google Cloud together to brainstorm, learn, and get hands-on to move projects forward. Google Cloud Innovators will be eligible for invitations and speaking opportunities early. So please sign up to be an innovator today, and we'll share more details about the event in the coming weeks. Urs, we've got a few more pieces of good news to share.
All right, yes. We continue to invest heavily, of course, in developer experiences through intuitive in-product usability or through community engagement to offer deeper recognition of your expertise or through access to tools and resources that help you get your job done. And another key investment is in our learning experiences. So, for example, to meet the demands of cybersecurity professionals, Google has pledged to train 100,000 Americans in fields like data privacy, data analytics, security, and IT support. And additionally, Tech News World cited that over 90% of IT leaders expect to expand cloud services over the next 1 to 3 years. But over 80% identified a lack of internal skills and knowledge as a top barrier to cloud success. And according to another study done by Global Knowledge, Google Cloud skills are in super high demand, commanding the top 2 paying IT certifications in 2021 in the US. So I'm very happy to announce Google Cloud Skills Boost. Google Cloud Skills Boost is the definitive destination for Google Cloud learning, including 700 labs, courses, learning paths, skills badges, and certification resources, all authored by Google Cloud. The platform is available globally today in English, Japanese, and Spanish, with more languages to follow soon to enable millions of people to build and validate the skills that they need to thrive in an evolving cloud-first world. And finally, to reaffirm our commitment to accessibility of these learning resources, we are offering access at no cost for 30 days to Google Cloud Skills Boost. So visit the website to access free training today.
Fantastic. Okay, before we get on to the details of how Community Day will run, I've got 2 questions for you.
All right.
Okay, first question. Google Cloud has been talking about empathetic engineering for quite some time now. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that means and why you think it strengthens developer experiences?
Sure. By empathetic engineering, we really mean how are we putting ourselves in the shoes of our users, the developers, and ensure that we build products and services that really start with your needs first. We've always been an engineering-led company, so what we needed to learn was really how you wanted to use our services, because users come with different challenges and different backgrounds from different industries. Some of them new to cloud technologies. So that's where customer empathy comes in as an engineer. Do you really understand the experience that real users have with your products? Are you really walking in their shoes? So we implemented a listening and learning system based on customer empathy. So for example, teams test products by performing common user journeys just the same way customers would, without internal help, without internal tools, without insider tips. We gather the feedback, we improve the services or the documentation, and then test it with real customers. So we keep iterating until we're confident that we've built intuitive services that are easy for developers to implement and build great solutions around.
Great, thank you for that. So here's my second question for you.
Okay.
If you were starting your career in technology today, where would you focus your learning?
Well, that's a huge question because technology evolves so quickly that it can be pretty overwhelming, especially if you're early in your career. And unfortunately, because of the digital transformation of many industries, the success of those organizations will increasingly depend on the services and products that are built by its developers. So learning really is super important. Based on what I've seen, I would probably start with these three things. First, you have to dedicate time for learning every single week, right? So I'd start out by determining what forms of learning work for you, independently of the subject, and then really allocate a set of hours to grow your knowledge base, right? So for some, reading works best. For some, it's videos. For some, it's interactive events. You just got to understand what works out for you. And so next, I would pick a couple of topic areas that really interest you and start learning the fundamentals. Joining online communities or forums can be a really good way to get different perspectives on a subject that maybe aren't in the standard traditional learning paths. And then finally, of course, the question is, well, what subjects should you go after? Now there's hundreds of them, and so that's really something that depends on you and your preferences and your situation. But I'd say three areas kind of come to mind for me. First, customer empathy. I already talked about it. It's not something that's taught in schools, but it's really, really important that we build technology that people actually want to use, right? And so when you design a product and you start with a deep understanding of what the customer actually needs, then you can really build more than just a solution. You can create a viable business and a viable product that really lasts. Second, learning what it takes to ship a product, also not broadly taught in schools, is really invaluable in almost every job that I've seen. So that includes things like the fundamentals of release processes, lean or agile development, and how you best design products for self-service delivery. Because you want to design your product such that users can start using it quickly rather than depend on some complicated instructions or deployment process. And then last, but not least, security, right? You've all heard about the growing cyber threats that so many organizations are facing, and they're only going to get more sophisticated and more invasive. And so security is something that you need to build into your product and in your development process from the beginning. You can't bolt it on later. So learn about the fundamentals of securing a product or system, and then keep up with the trends. So that will give you the confidence that you need to build long-term viable products or companies.
Right, really, really great advice. Thank you for that. I know it'll be especially important for new developers and early in career folks, so thank you. I mentioned earlier that I'd give you a quick rundown of Community Day and how it will unfold, so let's do that now. Right after this, there is a special spotlight session featuring Jim Hogan, a healthcare strategist in Google Cloud, alongside Vince Cerf, the co-creator of TCP/IP, and who has often been coined the father of the internet. The two will have a candid conversation about accessibility in the workplace. We think it's going to be a great session, and we really, really are excited to have you join us. After that, we'll head into the heart of Community Day. You can join us in an immersive gathering experience called Kumo Space, which creates virtual campus with meeting rooms, smaller spaces to hang out for one-on-one conversations, and then larger auditoriums for more common topics. Every single part of the day will be powered by Google Cloud, including Kumo Space. So the day kicks off with conversations led by Google developer groups across Europe, Middle East, and India. And then the rest of the day, we'll have a variety of experiences and community gatherings with a few topics available at each time block. The first time block, you can attend discussions led by Googlers and community members like our Google developer experts and expert innovators, dedicated to specific technologies like Vertex AI, secure software supply chain, Flutter, or Workspace. And then the second block, you can follow a specific community pathway and spend time with specialized groups like Kaggle data scientists or women tech makers, or even region-specific groups. And the third and final track, throughout the day, we'll have a dedicated spaces for learning, how you can earn a cloud certification, develop new skills in hands-on lab sessions, or even apply your skills for good in philanthropic-related competition with other attendees. We really look forward to seeing you and hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Join us next for the DEI Spotlight session with Jim and Vint. Thank you so much for spending the last few days with us. Remember to sign up for Google Cloud Innovators and become part of our Google developer family. We're excited to get to know you and spend more time with you in the future. Enjoy the rest of Next.